Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Ethen Ostroff. I'm a personal injury lawyer. I help people across the country who were hurt, but maybe not at fault. Even if you think you might be at fault, there's a possibility you might be able to get recovery. Today, we are going to dive into swimming pool injuries, drownings, some sad, difficult case types. I'm going to dive into the difference between whether you may have a case, may not, swimming pool injuries in addition to actual drownings, how you might go about a situation like this from a legal perspective. Let's dive in. But before we do that, make sure to hit that subscribe button, follow along where I'll make sure your next future personal injury case is protected. All right, so you or a loved one know somebody or maybe a friend, God forbid, who passed away from a drowning situation with a pool. How does the situation work? When you get insurance, if you have a pool, an insurance carrier will come to your house and give you a quote for how much that insurance should cost to protect you personally from injuries on your property, known or unknown. If you don't have a fence around your pool, that is what's called a pool in general in the law is what's called an attractive nuisance. Attractive nuisance. That means that just by having a pool in itself, you are attracting potential danger. Kids, teenagers jumping into your pool when you maybe were sleeping. The likelihood of people entering your property, getting into your pool is exponentially higher if you have a pool without a fence. So, a way to protect yourself is to get a fence around your pool. Obviously, it's a safer thing to have a fence around your pool. There's a lower likelihood of kids getting access to it. And also, your insurance will probably be cheaper if you have a fence around your pool because you are taking steps to mitigate potential danger. So, step one, is there a fence? If there is not a fence, then is it a known danger? Is it a known thing that people are trespassing and getting into the pool? If the answer is yes, then you might have a situation where there actually is a personal injury case if someone gets hurt in that pool, either injured jumping in, maybe they jump in and break a leg, maybe they break their neck, maybe they break a wrist, or they actually drown inside of this pool without a fence. You have a higher likelihood of getting sued. If you do have a fence and someone hops that fence, then it might be unreasonable if that fence was really high up. Maybe it was a really easy to hop fence. Maybe it's one of those ones at your hip and it's kind of not a fence at all. So, is it going to protect a human from getting in or a dog? So, long story short, having a decent size fence that will adequately keep people out as a homeowner is a step that I strongly recommend that you take, both for safety purposes and legal purposes. If you or a loved one did have somebody get hurt in this situation, I'm here to tell you some good news. The good news in a bad situation is that people have insurance on their pool for exactly this purpose. They will not be paying out of their pocket if you did get hurt to pay for a personal injury lawsuit or any medical bills that you might have to deal with now. That's what homeowners insurance will cover. So you would actually, instead of suing the homeowner, if you had to sue, you would sue the homeowner's insurance carrier, which they are paying for anyway. And within the price of homeowner's insurance, it protects that person from getting sued personally for exactly this circumstance. So, as a homeowner, taking a step back, number one, you are gonna have coverage for this situation. If you did get hurt, you will have coverage to go after to get paid adequately for what happened. Number two, get a fence if you're getting a pool. A fence will really protect you and it will really prevent a lot of injury and your insurance might be even a little cheaper if you got a fence. So from a commercial property standpoint, a little bit of a different analysis. If they don't have a fence on a commercial property pool, that'd be a very rare circumstance, but if we're in that world, they must have insurance for that circumstance. If someone does get hurt, let's say you're renting an Airbnb or you're staying at a hotel and you go out and you get hurt and it was a not so predictable way of getting hurt. Let's say that a 2-year-old easily walks into a pool and drowns. It's not the 2-year-old's fault if you didn't put things to prevent it, like some sort of cover over the pool or someone always on watch. It's unreasonable to expect a homeowner to always have a lifeguard watching their pool, but it is reasonable to have a commercial property to always have somebody to at least keep some level of an eye on that pool. So if somebody does have a little kid walk into that pool, there's someone that can jump in and save them. So from a commercial standpoint, because there is patrons there paying to be on that property, you have an elevated level of safety. You need to prevent harm at a higher level. So a fence is a baseline. You need supervision potentially in that circumstance. So long story short, residential, commercial, very different. God forbid you ever have somebody drown or get really hurt in a pool. It does happen. That is something I could connect you with the right law firm for, regardless of where you are in the country. My name is Ethen Ostroff. I'm a personal injury lawyer. This is what I do. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you were here. I hope you never have to contact me for this, but I'm happy to be there if you do.